We are a fairly small, we have about 600 students in our building, very rural in upstate New York. And I know a lot of people think upstate New York means right above New York City, but no, we're in smack in the middle of the state near Syracuse. We have two counselors, two social workers, and one psychologist in the building. And, we're really excited to have implemented this.
What made you want to implement Intellispark, Tammy?
Well, we've been looking for something, especially when we went fully remote in March of last year, as almost everyone in the world did. It was really a struggle to communicate with our staff and our students. A lot of emails were exchanged, almost too many emails were exchanged, and things got lost in transition. So when I saw this program this summer and I went to the webinar, I brought it back to my principal immediately and I said, I think we've really found something that's going to be what we need. So that's where we feel it's going to be an important piece for our building.
What about Intellispark is serving as a game changer in how your students are being supported right now?
Well, I think it's a one-stop shop. That's kind of how I've told the faculty about that, is that instead of, I wonder if this person knows that this student is struggling, or I wonder if that person knows if this student has gone through this, it's a place where all that communication can be in one stop. So that's really what is exciting about that, is that everybody has the ability to see what's going on with that student and how they can best serve that student.
How have you been able to quickly have a successful rollout of Intellispark with your core team? I know you didn't start this right at the start of the school year.
So our core team is our emotional support team, which does include, as I mentioned, the counselors, social workers, psychologists, our administration as well. So we've been using it for a few months, and we are currently going to be rolling it out to a few teachers, about 10, in about 2 weeks, because we wanted to get a feel for that on our end before we rolled it out to the teachers. And quite honestly, with this type of education that we are now having with hybrid learning, remote learning, we wanted to make sure that we knew what we were going to be doing with it and how appropriate it was going to be for the rest of the faculty. And I can tell you the people that we've asked to do that are so excited and can't wait to start. I got great feedback from everyone.
Is that because you've shown it to them? You've sort of done like your own little demo with them so they can tell, or they're hearing stories?
No, actually, we just kind of gave them a little bit of background about what Intellispark can do and how much we as our office have really enjoyed it, and it's so helpful. The teachers are looking for ways to support the kids, and always do, but this is a place where you can just know what's been done or what hasn't been done for that student. So either they're getting what they need, or we're not doing triplicate of something, which is also a problem. So that's kind of where we gauged it on with them, and everyone have 10 faculty members. They are super excited to start. Actually, one teacher said, where's the link to me this morning? I'm like, it's not till the 22nd. And she's like, oh darn, I wanted to do it today. So they're ready to get going. To start, you should start small. Like I said, especially in this time of not whatever normal school is, not having the same type of schedule that we used to have. I think if you start with your emotional support team, or whatever you call it, and your administration, and then move out slowly, that's what we're trying to do. So we want our teachers to be able to experience it, or at least some of our teachers, so they can then talk to everyone else, almost like a turnkey type of process. So that's the way that we're handling it. I hope that it's the right way to handle that. But that's and why you should get Intellispark. It just does so much. It just puts everything, like I said, in one place. You know what's going on. I love the weekly digest. That's fantastic. Because once a week you get to find out what was put in there. Obviously, you can go in and look at each student, but this gives you a digest of what other people have put in there. So that's really, really helpful.
So which student voice surveys have you deployed so far, and what have been the benefits so far to deploying this?
So we did the Get to Know Me survey, and then we did the student engagement and connectivity piece. So the get to know me was really helpful for the counselors, myself and my other colleague, because we sit down with or do Google Meet with all of our freshmen to do like their graduation plan, their 4-year graduation plan. And going through that, I was able to say, so it looks like you want to go into engineering, or you want to be able to do this or that. And that was really, really helpful in meeting with them. The connectivity piece, especially with the way that education is right now, we are hybrid, so our kids are only in the building twice a week. It's interesting to see their thoughts on connectivity. You know, and I think that they would be different if they were in school every day. We'd see different, and we want to try to do that when we're back in session 5 days a week to see what the connectivity piece is. So it's been really helpful for us to gauge that.
And has it driven any specific action? Have any specific actions come out of it in terms of that connectivity piece? Like, has it kind of spurred you to engage?
Yeah, our social workers are really taking that piece on, and you know, reaching out to students who maybe the connectivity is a little bit of an issue, and they've definitely made more contacts with those students. Yep.
And will you be doing the survey then again in the spring to see?
Yes, we've only rolled them out to the freshmen at this point, but we do plan to put out to the rest of the building as well.
I know that when we spoke one of the last times with the team, we talked about using Intellispark to better partner with your community-based organizations that also support your students. How has that made a difference for your students or your staff or for the partners themselves?
We haven't rolled that out yet. We are actually going to be doing that along with the pilot of the teachers. So we have our career and technical education program, which is a different campus than ours. The counselor is going to be involved in that too, and I think that's going to be a huge benefit. What she sees there, she can communicate with us through Intellispark. And then we have some prevention specialists, and then just outside counselors that are going to be keying in there as well. And once again, they're all very, very excited to be a part of it.
Can you describe how intuitive it is, or where, you know, what are the things that are easy for you to do?
Well, I think like anything, you have to get used to it. So the first, couple of weeks was a little more difficult, but it's fairly easy to access. Like I said, once you get used to the program and how things go and where they go, you just need to play with it like anything. But I find it very user friendly, definitely. I'm glad that I stumbled across Intellispark. I stumbled across it on Facebook. I said, wow, this looks really great. I watched the webinar on vacation in New Hampshire. I got off of it and I texted my principal and I said, we really need to look at this, and sent him all the information. And I've looked at a lot of programs and nothing has ever got me that excited.